What is up, you guys? It's Nita. So a few weeks back, me and my boyfriend went to Universal Studios. I thought, man, I'm gonna have so much fun. I'm gonna vlog. And I did vlog, but I didn't vlog enough to make it like a full YouTube feature length film, which is like 8 to 10 minutes. So I made a mini vlog, which I'm gonna share in one of the top corners up here and also in the description box below. But that video was so short. It was like, what, 2 minutes? And I feel like I have so much footage that just didn't get used or didn't get the showtime that it needed, because I mean, I didn't do all this for nothing. So I'm gonna tell you guys about my experience at Universal, and my memory is horrible, so I'm gonna go through the videos that I took. All right, so arguably one of the most important parts of the trip is getting there. That's why we flew with Southwest. Thank you for sponsoring. No, I'm joking. I don't have sponsors, but we did fly Southwest. We chose them because they were cheap and we got free luggage. You get, what, 2 free check bags with Southwest? And it's just 2 of us, so we didn't need that much luggage. Our flight there, we boarded with Group C. Me and my boyfriend were so lucky. We literally got the last 2 empty seats that were right beside each other. Like, we got on the plane and we just started walking and walking and walking, and it's just looking as people everywhere. You see 1 seat here, couple rows down, 1 seat there, and it's like, no, I do not want to sit by myself on this god doggone plane. I hate flying. I don't hate flying. I do get nervous. I'm a little nervous Nancy. We get all the way to the back of the plane. I was gonna give up, but he wanted to keep walking. We get all the way to the back of the plane, 2 seats right beside each other, right beside the bathroom. I didn't care. Let's sit down. Let's sit. We did fly Southwest. We got there. And honestly, we got there kind of quick. I don't know too much about planes and flying and air traffic control, but I feel like that flight there, he got on down. I think if a plane going 200, he was about going 350, because that pilot got on down. And it was smooth too. It was a smooth ride. Literally gushing about the plane. There's nothing to do with the trip at all, but this is the shuttle ride to our actual hotel. We wanted this to be kind of more of an immersive trip. We didn't want to get like Ubers or have to travel too far while we were there, so we ended up staying at one of the resorts. It was called Endless Summer DockSide, and I think Universal had 5 resorts total. And as far as they go, we got the cheaper one. Review of the hotel, 6 out of 10. They didn't change my blankets, which I feel like they should change the blankets every day. They didn't change my blankets. They didn't really clean up well, and nothing was free. I'm thinking, oh, we're staying at a resort. It's a resort. I learned the difference between a resort, like an all-inclusive resort, and a regular resort. We stayed in a regular resort. Nothing was included. Can I at least get a continental breakfast? It's a Motel 6 down the street that'll give us like a Danish or something. Like, we don't get nothing. They said all you can get free is water and ice. That's it. And every meal we ate was like $40. Every meal we ate was $40. I'm like, okay, y'all milking it. Like, we paid so much money to be needless to say, I didn't really like the hotel, but the perk of staying at a Universal resort was that we got shuttle service to the park, and they had the shuttles running like back and forth every 20 minutes or so. It kind of sort of somewhat made up for the bad hotel service. We did 3 park days. Day 1 of the park, we were really just trying to get our bearings. I didn't really know too much about what we were supposed to do. Like, I've been to Universal before, but it was back when I was like 18, and anything that happened to me before the age of 26, I just don't remember. I literally just do not remember the trip at all. Day 1 was us getting our bearings. We started every day at Islands of Adventure. Another perk of staying at the resort, we get early access to the park, so like an hour early. We were waiting outside in line for like an hour before they even opened the gate. And then the Universal Resort Studios guests would have an hour to do what they want to do, and then they'd open the park for everybody else. There, like, even though we did have to stand in line for an hour, it was useful having that extra hour, because Islands of Adventure is where the Harry Potter rides are, and like Hogsmeade and all of that, which are very popular. So a lot of people were trying to get in to do those, which I'll get to later. But day 1, we walk into the park and everyone's running, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what they're running for, but we're just, we're moseying around. We walk through like a small shopping center, and then we start getting to like the themed parts of the theme park. We passed by the Lost Island, which looked really cool, but it was closed. I would have really liked to see that, but it's fine. After Lost Island, you come up on Jurassic Park, that area, and that is when, y'all, I found my favorite roller coaster ever, the Velociraptor. Oh my god, y'all, if y'all ever go to Universal Studios, bro, ride the Velociraptor. It's the best ride, arguably You can't even argue with me. It's the best ride in that park. When I tell you, we rode it twice. We rode it 2 separate times. That was my favorite ride, y'all. You're walking in and you just see like the roller coasters arching over your head. And you get into the line. They have it decorated really nice. There were a lot of trees around. The first time I saw the roller coaster come, it came through the trees. Like, This shook me. I was so shook. Now, remind you, this is the first ride that we're riding, like, since we've been there. This is the first ride. This is my first time on a real roller coaster in years. I was so scared that I started like choking. I had to hit my inhaler. Like, I was anxiety. Like, I was scared. And I'm standing in the line and there are trees, and then all you hear is like a and I look and all I see is like the tree branches blowing in the wind. Like something big just ran by the trees. And I'm like, that was a fucking dinosaur. Like it literally puts you in the mind of like you're in a park with dinosaurs. Like it was so fast and loud. And then you look back and all you see is the trees rustling. And it was the roller coaster. So we walk through, right? We walk through, and mind you, I'm scared. We pass the statue with the Velociraptors, and then we go into this like chamber. They're showing like a little mini video telling about the raptors, and the guy from the movies there, and he's telling us, "Hey, turn back. This is a bad idea. You don't want to ride this. This is horrible. Don't turn back now." And I'm just like, oh my God, I feel that. I'm not gonna throw up. So we get on the ride, y'all. You're sitting in the seat, right? You're sitting in the seat, and then you hear like countdowns, and you just hear it's like blaring, and then the raptors show up, and they're beside you, and you're shaking, and then the raptors start running, and then you're like, where are they going? And before you even get a chance to think about it, you're like out of there. You're like out the gate, bro. I'm not gonna gush about no more rides. This is the only one. That was my favorite ride in that whole park. Both of the parks. That was the best ride there. Velociraptor. Gotta do it. Have to do it. I know we ended up leaving Velociraptor. I know we rode other things. I just do not remember what else we rode on day one, because like Velociraptor trumped everything else that we did. I promise you. We ended up going like walking down to Hogsmeade, but I don't think we rode anything because the lines for those Harry Potter rides, crazy. We didn't get to ride anything on day one. I don't think. We did get some Butterbeer though. I think between the both of us, in the span of 3 days, we had like 7 Butterbeers. Y'all, I came back from that trip with some weight on me. I'm not gonna lie. First of all, I don't know what kind of cream they put on top of the Butterbeer. A1. We even came home and we tried to make our own version of it, which, I mean, it didn't go well. For some reason, it exploded. I don't know what happened with that, but the Butterbeer was good. We're going to talk about Hogsmeade now. This was what I was most excited about, like the Hogwarts, Hogsmeade, Diagon Alley, Harry Potter themed stuff. First thing to note, this was the main event for everybody. Remember how I was saying like the gates open and people are just running? I'm like, what are they running for? They were running towards the Harry Potter stuff. People were like bypassing everything to get to the Harry Potter part of the park. We ended up getting express passes on day 2 because I was just like, bro, we got to do something because we have to ride these rides. Day 2, we knew what we were doing day 2, so we running straight to Hogsmeade, right? You get down there and you go under this like archway with a Hogsmeade sign, and all the buildings around have like snow on them. It really puts you in the mood of Harry Potter. For some reason, Harry Potter gives me Christmas vibes. The first one that we rode was called the Flight of the Hippogriff. As we were queuing up to get on the ride, you could see it going, and I'm thinking like, okay, you're sitting in baskets. It can't be that crazy. It wasn't that crazy. It did have a little part where it did like a little drop and it got some speed on it. It was better than I expected it to be. It was a good introductory ride for someone that doesn't have enough gall to do something like Velociraptor. Like, this is like a cool introductory ride. I think like right after we did Flight of the Hippogriff, we went into the castle, and this is what I was really excited about. You get to walk through Hogwarts, the castle. It was very immersive, and I will say you're kind of walking through caverns at like a point. It's giving claustrophobia. Like if you're claustrophobic, I don't know if you would do well with some parts of, the walk through just to line up to get into the ride. But you get out into the actual castle and it's like, it's crazy. There were a bunch of trinkets from like the movies laying around. There was like a 3D projection of Harry, Ron, and Hermione talking. And I didn't do any research about this ride beforehand, so I didn't know what kind of ride it was. But it's one of those 3D, 4D rides. You're strapped into a harness and you're like riding and making all these turns. You get like the 4D elements from from like wind and heat and water, and then you get like the screen that's showing you what's happening. You feel like you're flying. Like it was really cool. It was really cool. It's very immersive, and y'all know I love a good immersive experience. The last Harry Potter ride that we rode was Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. I didn't think I was gonna like this ride, but y'all, this is number 2, right up under Velocicoaster is this one. Cause you get on the motorbike, right? And it starts going, and you don't think it's gonna do what it does. Right? You end up going like up a hill, it reverses, it drops you, and it's extra scary because it's like you're just literally on a motorcycle and like in a bend. It's a thrill ride for real. It's thrill. Let's see, other rides that I liked. Oh, there was this other ride, nothing to do with Hogsmeade. We'll go back to Hogsmeade. There was this other ride, Skull Island, Reign of Kong. It was one of those like 4D immersive rides. It was really fun too. In terms of rides, my top 3 were definitely Velocicoaster, number 1, no contest, Hagrids Motorbike, and Skull Island, Reign of Kong. It was really cool. You're in a like a bus, like a tour bus, and it's a bunch of y'all, and y'all are just sitting in the tour bus together. And then they start taking you through the jungle, and then these like dinosaurs starts attacking, and then Kong is there, and he's trying to like save you. It was crazy. The bus fell off a cliff, and we're just in there. They start spraying water at us. I'm like, oh my God, Lord, are we gonna make it? We did. And then you end up getting to the end of the ride, out of like the immersive zone, and you go past like this huge animatronic figure of King Kong, and it's like so realistic. We actually ended up riding that ride twice, like on 2 separate days, and we realized that there's like a little Easter egg in it. At different parts of the ride, the operator says different things, the same scenes but different dialogue, which is always really cool. We went through Seuss Landing, Dr. Seussville. We didn't really spend too much time in Dr. Seussville though. Seuss Landing, let me stop calling it that. Like a Marvel superhero area. I don't think we did. Oh, we did. We rode the Incredible Hulk here. It was cool. It can be number 4. I don't know. It's not top 3. It can be number 4. Hulk was cool. I liked it. I think this was the area, the superhero island. I think this was the area where they had the big rides that drop you down, and then the ones that you get in like zero gravity and they just spin you around. I refused. I could not. I would not. I don't like those rides. But one of the park days, we ended up going through all of Island of Adventure, ending at Hogsmeade, and then riding the trolley from Hogsmeade to Diagon Alley. That was an experience. The trolley ride from Hogsmeade to Diagon Alley was so cool. Get onto the trolley, you get into a cab, right? And it's 6 of y'all, so y'all are just sitting in the cab. Screens, like there are no windows, it's like a screen, so you can see as the train is actually taking you across the park. You can see through the window. You're traveling through the forest. You see centaurs. You see like you see the Weasleys riding on their brooms, and it's really cool. And then you also get to see like from the area of the trolley, Ron, Hermione, and what's the dude? Harry. You see them walking by trying to find a place to sit like they were in the movie. I didn't even record a lot at this point because I was just like enjoying the sights. It was really cool. You get off the trolley at King's Cross Station. You can walk out into the street and you just see like Universal Studios, the park. But if you turn to the left, go like a few yards down, you'll see like a wall, right? You'll see a wall, and it just looks like a regular wall if you're just looking at it. You literally, we almost walked past it. We ended up walking behind the wall, Diagon Alley, right off in the cut. You would have, if you weren't looking for it, you will miss it. So it was just right off in the cut, the whole of Diagon Alley. You go in there, you know, they have shops, they have places to sit and eat. It's decorated. Harry Potter Escape from Gringotts is there. So we ended up going in. This was on day 2 because we had our fast pass, right? So we went in, Escape from Gringotts, and you see the what are they called? Ogres? They're not ogres. They're sitting at their seats like they are in the movie, and it's really cool. You get to walk past them, and you go like down into a vault, and you get onto the ride. And I'm not gonna lie to you, don't remember the ride. It was an actual ride. Oh, I do remember the ride. You get onto the ride, you let the seats down, they come onto your lap, they go very tight. So I was stuck kind of uncomfortable for the majority of the ride, which is why I probably didn't remember it. It was cool. Maybe top 6, maybe top 10, not top 5. It was cool though. What else did they have in there? We didn't ride a Fast and Furious ride. I think it was closed for repairs or something. We didn't ride that. We did do Men in Black, Alien Attack. That one was fun. It was cute. They were like, the wait's gonna be 5 minutes, which is why we did it. It was like, the wait's gonna be 5 minutes. It took us 5 minutes to walk the line to get into the ride. There was literally no wait. So we got in there. Oh, you get the scene where in the movie where he's like shooting the aliens out the sky, and then he shoots the little girl, and they're like, why'd you shoot the girl? And he's like, she's the only thing that's out of order here, or something like that. We get that scene. So we were actually had the guns and we were shooting. After that, you keep walking and you go into the Simpsons ride. I don't necessarily like the Simpsons. I never really got into it, so I was just kind of annoyed the whole time because I'm like, bro, it's a lot going on. I think they tried to make it seem like an actual episode of The Simpsons. It was a lot going on, and I was kind of annoyed with it, not gonna lie. After riding The Simpsons, we ended up stopping around the area for food, and we sat like on a lake and ate our food. It was mid. The food at the park is mid. We also rode the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, which I feel like is one of the older roller coasters. That junk was, you could tell it was given like Six Flags. It was one of those like rinkety dink, like not rinkety dink, but it took us a while to ride it because it was sprinkling and they kept stopping it because it kept malfunctioning in the rain. So it took us a while to get up to that one and ride it, but it was fun. A fun 30 seconds. You got to pick your whatever song you wanted to listen to. I think we were listening to Black Parade, cool little immersive couple seconds. It was really fast. I just thought it was cool they let us pick our own music. We didn't get to do Transformers ride, Transformers 3D, or did we? Okay, this is where that muddling comes in, because I've been to Universal before and I know I've ridden the Transformers ride. Don't know if we rode it this time. Either way it goes, it's one of those 4D rides. So if you like 4D rides, you'll like it. It's cool. Oh, wait. Okay. I was going to say, like, see how none of these rides are getting me really excited like the Velocicoaster did? Because, I mean, they cool, but they weren't the Velocicoaster. But Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon was so fun. It was one of those 3D rides. You get into the little contraption and it's literally just a movie and it's shaking you and you think you're riding. You know, it was one of those. But it was funny. It was really funny. You end up on the moon. I'm like, you're racing through New York and then some kind of way you end up on the moon. I don't know how that happened. And then you walk past, just off into the cut, Revenge of the Mummy. And you're like, you're thinking like, oh, Revenge of the Mummy, that sounds cool. Let's get on that. Like, you don't know. Like, we didn't know what we were getting into. Y'all, Revenge of the Mummy was crazy. There was a point in that ride where I thought it was gonna like literally set us on fire. Like, it was so hot and there were just flames everywhere. And it's like, if you want thrill, you want to be scared, Revenge of the Mummy is definitely the ride. Like that, it was so fun. And it's just off in the cut. We were gonna walk past it. Like, we almost walked past Diagon Alley. We were gonna walk past it. Top tier, maybe top 5. I'm not gonna lie. Velocicoaster, Hagrids ride, shoot, Kong, Revenge of the Mummy. It's top 4. We rode all the rides that we could the first 2 days. So the last day, we rode Velocicoaster again. I think we rode one of the Harry Potter rides again, and then we ended up doing like shows for the majority of the day, shows and eating. We ate at the Three Broomsticks, which was basically a sidebar of the Leaky Cauldron, and they had the same food, so we ate there. It was really good. We ended up watching like an animal show. This girl, she had like cats, dogs, birds. The birds were in the stands, like in the crowds. I thought one was gonna take my head off. And then we watched a musical Toad show. I don't know, but the last show that we saw was it James Bond? I think it was James Bond. I was tired, so I'm like, oh, it's hot, I need some air, I need some oxygen, I need to sit down in a theater. So we're walking past and I see like the James Bond Experience or something. What is it called? Okay, it's a show in the theater. It's probably gonna be boring. I don't know anything about James Bond, but I want to sit down, get in there. And they're like, oh, okay, come on, show's about to start. We all go into like this big open room and there are a lot of people, like we're all crammed. And I'm like, oh no, we're gonna have to stand for this whole thing. And they go through like a 10-minute like prequel of the James Bond movies, or I said James Bond. I kept saying James Bond. I meant to say Jason Bourne. Bourne Stuntacular. We're standing in there. They're giving us like a 10-minute prequel and we're standing the whole time. And I'm like, okay, this is not what I wanted. I'm literally about to sit on the floor. And then they say, all right, enjoy the show. And the doors the doors open up all around us and it's a theater, and we go and sit in the theater, and it feels nice. Take a load off my feet, you know. That's what I wanted. I wanted to sit down, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here. I snuck a cookie in, so I'm gonna sit here and eat my cookie. Don't really know too much about Jason Bourne, but I'm just gonna sit here and eat my cookie and chill. When I tell y'all that show was so good, that show was amazing. It was like a stage play and a movie at the same time. There were people on the ceiling and people on the stage, and like it's a movie playing in the background, but the people in real life are interacting with the movie that's happening. It was really cool. And they pulled out their favorite stops: the fire, the water, some air. As far as shows go, that was my favorite show. And it was literally just a last minute, last day, literally just like oh, okay, let's do this real quick. And it was my favorite show. It was cool. The absolute last ride that we did was like a Minions thing, which it was cute. You stand in place and they give you a gun and you just shoot. It was cool. And that was my Universal trip. Like I said, I made it into a mini vlog, and I'll post that somewhere for you to watch if you want to watch that. I'm not usually this organized when it comes to reviews and stuff. This one was just really random, so I'm sorry if this feels very weird. It is. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Apparently they're gonna put the Wizarding World of Harry Potter into a separate park called Epic Universe, which is crazy because like admission to one park is like $100. So if it's 3 parks now instead of 2, you paying money. They milking it. That is crazy. But shit, I'ma still go.